Welcome back to Extra Innings. I'm Buck Ballou, and let's talk some Braves baseball today. One of the best days of the entire year is up tomorrow, and you know what the deal is. It is the opening day of Major League Baseball, one of the great days of the year. The boys of summer are back, and I'm just loving it. How about you? Here in Atlanta, the Braves are gunning for their sixth consecutive National League East title. And I'm expecting to go on another exciting postseason run, and maybe get back to the World Series this year with this lineup and this roster that Alex Anthopoulos has put together. Really excited about the upcoming season. The Braves, most of these prognosticators have listed the Braves as the favorites to win the division and the favorites from the National League to get back to the World Series. Maybe the Padres, the Mets, or Phillies might have something to say about that, but we'll enjoy the ride. I'm expecting to get back there, though, and for a couple of reasons. Number one, some runs this season. This might be the best lineup in all of baseball. Also, when you look around some of the outlets out there, they rate the Braves' rotation as one of the top 5 in baseball. They also rate the Braves' bullpen as one of the top 5 in baseball. So you're looking at a well-rounded team, a lot of names and faces that you know and love. And I wanted to talk about the new Atlanta Brave, the big addition to the ball club, and that is going to be behind the plate, former Oakland catcher Sean Murphy, who takes over behind the plate. And I just love this guy and his skill set. He's an all-around catcher. You see so many of these catchers that all they do is defend, or all they do is bring a big bat to the plate. This guy does both. And as we take a look at what he has to offer here, he swings a big bat at the plate. He's going to hit in the middle of the lineup. I really like the fact he's got some opposite field power. And then behind the plate, you're going to see him throwing a lot of people out, too. Hits to all fields. Last season, hit .250 with 37 doubles. Had 18 home runs, drove in 66. He takes a big cut at the plate. And Sean Murphy, on the defensive side, is an elite defender behind the plate. He's got a really big arm. You're going to see him throw out a lot of guys stealing while he's hitting all these home runs and doubles. Does a great job of framing pitches, handles the pitching staff extremely well. MLB Network recently rated out the catchers in baseball. He came in at number 4 out of a 30-team league. So he gets a lot of respect around the league. Defensive runs saved is one of his rate is one of the best in baseball. A 3.5 WAR analytic stat is really impressive. Get ready to see Sean Murphy make a big impact. Hey, we lost Dansby Swanson, and that's going to hurt. But we got better at catcher, and with he and Darno, we've got a chance to have the best catching duo in all of baseball. Now let's talk about the biggest conversation piece during spring training and coming into the season is what's going on at shortstop. I mentioned Dansby Swanson's gone, putting on that Chicago Cubs uniform now. And the Braves have moved on at shortstop, and we were all sort of caught by surprise with the news that came down a few days ago, and that is Orlando Arcia has been named the starting shortstop for the Braves coming into the year. We thought Vaughn Grissom was going to be ready to go. We learned about Braden Shoemake, who made some noise, impressing people down at spring training. But as the Braves come north and get ready to start the season, got Orlando Arcia will get the first shot at being shortstop 1 for the Braves. And I tell you what, he's been a role player, a bench player, a backup at the shortstop spot for the Atlanta Braves after spending 3 years as the starting shortstop for the Milwaukee Brewers. And Arcia had a solid spring, even though you didn't hear a lot about that. We're too busy talking about the other 2 guys. But I really like the way he swings the bat at the plate. He's got some pop. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Seems to be a clutch guy at the plate, steps up when the team needs him. But where I'm concerned is defensively, where typically in baseball there are 2 elite premier positions where really good teams don't worry about whether the guy can hit or not, and their shortstop and their catcher. We've already talked about the catching job. No problems there. But at shortstop, a little bit concerned about Arcia's defensive prowess out in the field. He makes roughly, when you look at the 3 years at Milwaukee and compare that to what Dansby did here in Atlanta defensively, Arcia makes about double the errors, so twice the errors that Dansby made. Dansby phenomenal last year as a Gold Glove shortstop. So I am a little bit concerned about Arcia and what he's going to bring to the table defensively. The range is better than Vaughn Grissom's, and that's what held Grissom back from being the shortstop. And let me be honest here, I don't know how in the world you expect a guy to get better as far as range goes. So just the fact Vaughn Grissom's going to go back to AAA and work on his defense, expand his range, I'm not sure how he's going to do that. But you've got Arcia that can swing the bat. So really anxious to see how the shortstop thing's going to work out, and I'm sure the Braves team is looking forward to that too. Expect Arcia to hit at the bottom of the lineup, and just hope that he goes out there and can pick it well enough to field the position and make those plays that he should make. So let's get it started, man. Anxious to see him. I wanted to talk about one other player today as we enter the season, and the bullpen has been so huge for the Braves during the last 2-3 years. Anthopoulos has done a really great job of stockpiling the bullpen with a lot of depth. And during the course of the year, with starters going fewer innings these days, you're leaning on your bullpen more and more. And the Braves have been deep enough to really have an advantage there over the last 2-3 years. So really anxious to see one guy out of the bullpen this year, especially with Raisel Iglesias, is going to be out for, I assume, the first month of the season with some shoulder inflammation, and he's our closer. So now you got A.J. Minter, who was set up to be the high-leverage setup guy, pitching 8th inning. When we have a lead, he's going to slide into Iglesias' spot as the closer. Joe Jimenez is another newbie that we bring in from Detroit and the Tigers organization that may or may not be slotted into A.J. Minter's previous role as the high-leverage setup guy. I'm anxious to see what Kirby Yates is going to bring to the table this year. Still was not really all the way back a year ago, coming off the Tommy John surgery. Now he's 2 years removed. So I'm hoping we're going to see Kirby Yates emerge as a guy that we can hand the ball to 7th and 8th inning when we have a lead, and get that lead to A.J. Minter and Iglesias to close out these games. It's that domino effect of moving Minter that opens up an opportunity. And I saw recently where Kirby Yates was saying he believes that he's ready to be a guy that Snit can rely on coming out of the bullpen this season. Saved 41 games back in 2019 before the surgery. Gets a lot of movement on the ball. That sinker is really pretty awesome when he's got that working. And he says he's confident he can be a guy that can be relied on right now. And we may need that. I'm not, anxious to see Jimenez too and see what he brings to the table. But tell you, if Kirby Yates could be ready to assume some of that role in high leverage situations, that would be huge for our Atlanta Braves this season. If not, if he can't be, no, McHugh is another guy you can rely on, but I'll be a little bit concerned about the bullpen with Iglesias being down. The Braves are working out at Nationals Park today. The weather should be good enough in the 50s tomorrow. As we get the season started at 1:05, it's going to be Max Fried versus Patrick Corbin, two really good left-handers getting the start on opening day, a real honor for Max Fried. And, he's a guy, when he gets the ball, man, I'm expecting the Braves to win. And he's done a lot of that over the last 2-3 years. Remember to go out and get that Fan mobile app so you can listen to the Braves free on the 680 app all season long, crystal clear, wherever you're at. That Braves mobile app is the thing to do. It's App Day here at 680 The Fan. We're trying to get the word out. If you've heard some of the shows already today, and that's what that's all about. Get that Fan mobile app. Listen to the Braves free all season long. Man, I'm ready. I got my Braves jersey on, ready for opening day, and we appreciate you hanging out on Extra Innings. We'll talk to you again soon.